So yeah, we just had an open beta for Diablo IV and it gave people pretty mixed feelings. So let's talk about it. I have a concept, it's called the Unholy Trinity. You will hear me use it often, unfortunately. It stands for the three biggest gaming companies that were once one of the greatest and now they are down bad. Of course I'm referring to EA, Ubisoft and Activision Blizzard. While all of these three companies produce great games now and then, even to this day, most of the games they put out are just soulless microtransaction fests. That's the truth, sadly. I want to talk about them in details in a dedicated video later on. Right now you just have to know that I'm quite untrustful when it comes to games from these companies. I tend to disassociate myself from them because I hate when games are made against the gamer. However, I really like ARPGs. I put at least 1000 hours into Path of Exiles back in the day, and I played Diablo 3 and 2 Resurrected. I like them both, and I was amazed by the trailer of Diablo 4. Cinematic wise, Blizzard always delivers, there is no question about that. What's questionable is the actual game itself. Obviously, Immortal was the typical modern day shell of a game, just a disguise for monetizations. It was a joke and still is. But most of the games will become more and more like this, because it sells, it makes money, it's profitable. So when news started to appear about Diablo 4, that it will have a season pass system and other microtransactions, I put the game on not interested category in my mind. Then we had the open beta, and I can't believe that I'm about to defend this game, or more precisely highlight the merits of it. So let's go. I won't dive into details because I want this to be a first impression kind of video, so I'm just gonna throw a bunch of sentences in no particular order about what I like. The ambience and the music is so good in the game. Nowadays we take it for granted because most of the games, even the not that great ones, have great music. But I've stopped multiple times just to listen to it. It deserves praise. The visual and sound effects are also high quality. I tried out Druid and Necromancer during the beta and the spells look spectacular. I know it's 2023 and we are talking about a AAA game, it's supposed to look good, but still, the game is a beauty. Your character, every spell and the world itself, the zones, the dungeons, is the gothic horror we know and love. However, it was the sound effects that won me over. The corpse explosion sounded like actual meat and bone ripping and breaking. The druid's earth spell felt powerful. The landslide ability sounded like the impact of two heavy stone monuments. It was funny because most of the time I'm really critical about games and I tend to leave them halfway when I don't get the level of dopamine that's my addiction minimal limit is. And now I was just running around spamming landslide for like 6 hours, clinking my teeth to imitate the sound, acting like the child I am and having fun. The main quest is the deal, however. It always was in the Diablo franchise. During the beta we had access to the first act, the first main quest line, and it was great. Even if you are not a lore guy, or you haven't played every installment, if you pay attention you can catch up really fast. I don't want to go into details because it's really easy to step into spoiler territory, but it delivered. I was invested from start to finish. I just wanted to have more, to know more, and there's also a huge penitent one from Blasphemous Moment cameo during the questline, which was my favorite. I knew it was going to happen when I first saw the helmet and I heard about the armor from an optional dialogue. The design of Lilith is also quality incarnate. I love it. So yeah, I can honestly say that I liked it a lot and I can't wait to continue. Diablo 4 changed a lot of the core ARPG formula that defined the genre, and people are not happy about it. Or at least that's on the news. The randomized and always shifting layout of the zones and dungeons is for sure a defining element of these games. But I'm going to be honest, it may be a controversial take, but it's my opinion. I prefer and enjoy more the static location layout. It's an open world with objectives and dungeons always being in the same place. Yes, it's against the OG Diablo PoE formula, but it works in Diablo's 4 favor. This is an open world game with an established zones and towns, it would be weird if the boss arena would move every time you log out or die. I prefer it this way, it helps me with immersion and coordination, so it's a plus for me. I was a little bit disappointed, however, in the character class options. There are only 5 classes at the moment, which are the Barbarian, Sorceress, Druid, Rogue and the Necromancer. In their defense, all of them are unique and they have a lot of build options and specs. There are plenty customization options, but I still miss some classes, like the Crusader Templar, which fits perfectly in the setting of the game. To look at the bright side of the future, we will probably get 1 or more classes later on with the expansions for the game. There is a transmog system in the game, and I know that most of the games have it nowadays, but I will bring it up every single time as a positive, because I love it, and I will be very frustrated if it wouldn't be implemented. There's also a dodge dash mechanic added to the game, which is okay. I mean, it's a great addition to mobility and a great tool to get out from Firefest. You can build into it as well to have a lower cooldown and more charges. First it was a bit unusual, but you can learn to use it in your advantage or even weave it into your rotation with little to no effort. The last thing I want to mention is more of a general positivity, is the multiplayer elements of the game. Not just the open world elements with other people, but the group options as well. You have crossplay for the game, which is the best thing to grace us gamers in the last decade. I wish every game with multiplayer would have it. I was playing on a PS5 with my friends on PC, and it felt so good that I don't have to play alone anymore, because I'm on a different platform. Also, this once again, another general truth, but the game is way more fun with friends. I'm mostly a solo player, and while I am glad I could do the main quests alone to exhaust every dialogue, inspect every little thing and progress in my own pace, everything else is so much better with others. People often mention that the dungeons are repetitive, which I can see, but when we did them together, they are way more fun. Even with scaling, we finished them faster compared to when I did them alone. And after every dungeon clear, we went to the Kyovashad main city and traded between each other the general loot that was an upgrade for any of us. So yeah, if you plan to play this game, bring your friends, or if you don't have gamer friends, just group up with others and have fun. In conclusion, the game was a pleasant surprise for me. I went from just another cash grab to looking forward to the release date of the game. But, and the big but here, there are still things that I disagree with. For example, there will be a shop and a season pass system as well. The developers stated that there will only be cosmetic items on them, but I'm still not happy about it. I generally dislike our monetizations and every other excuse for more passive income that harms the game. Yes, it has to make money, it's a live service platform, I get that, but I will still be against it, because every game that follows will have more and more of it, and it will be more aggressive. Also, there will be only cosmetics excuse, it's not good enough for me, personally. I'm 100% sure that they went with this cosmetic only reward route because of the backlash of Diablo Immortal. Also, we know if there is a paid cosmetic in any game, they have to make them look better and cooler than the ones you can get from the game itself. It also adds FOMO to it. You pay for the game, you pay for the season pass, life comes, you can play and you don't get the set cosmetic. Or you start to play the game after release. There's a transmog that you really like, but it was only available 3 months before. And maybe there is a chance that you will see it again in the paid shop for a fee, given how they did it in Overwatch 2. The editions also broke me. As a side note, my philosophy is that every game should have 2 editions, for both digital and physical game. A standard edition, which gives you the base game, in a physical or a digital edition, a collector's edition, which is obviously a physical only, and of course should include the actual game itself. It shouldn't even be a question. And the Digital Deluxe Edition, which alongside the base game includes DLCs and or fun miscellaneous stuff like art books and soundtracks. This is the acceptable formula in my eyes. And even though this is a personal preference, I tend to avoid games with 5 editions, for example AC Valhalla. And again, Blizzard assures its place in the Unholy Trinity with 3 different editions up to the 100 USD or Euro price tag, with stupid little variations between them. In today's world, the general market is like this. The live service formula and the strangling microtransaction windows are ever growing, and if we, the consumers, are okay with it, we continue to support them or just suffer silently, these will only grow in number and hostility. I don't want to end this in defense of the game video with a bitter taste. These are general things that I dislike in the modern gaming sphere, and this is the only way that I can express it, with my reaction, my opinion. And I know that I'm not alone. It's not just me, but many other gamers who had enough of this industrial exploitation and want things to change. We can only achieve this together, united against it, letting our voice to be heard. Diablo 4's beta was awesome. I went from whatever, I don't have high hopes, to I really want to play this game, and I can't wait for its release. I'm grateful for the open beta, for the chance to play it with my friends. It was a fun experience, and I used the word fun a dozen times in the script, because the game is genuinely fun. Since the beta ended, I was thinking about it multiple times. I've even re-downloaded PoE and Diablo 2 Resurrected, just so I could fill the void until release. Spoiler alert, they didn't have. I really don't want this game to be overshadowed by the negativities, be it by the turn out of force in monetization or the lack in gameplay department. I want it, not including nostalgia factor, to be the best Diablo we had so far. And I want us, the community, to enjoy every bit of it. Let us hope that Activision Blizzard regards higher the passion of the Diablo 4 team and the game's player base than the company's money-hungry nature, so we can have a great game that will last a long time.
No!